was wanting to make some raw dehydrated coconut, because the shredded dehydrated coconut that you find in the stores is not raw, because they passed a law that they have to dehydrate it at 190 degrees because of some bacteria that might pass through to us. So anyway, I want to make raw, and so I took one of these brown coconuts, and to find the best one, you shake it and make sure that it's got a lot of water in it. If it's heavy, then it's probably going to be okay. And then you bring it home and you punch out the hole that will punch out. Usually there's only one. You take your knife, and I usually take a very sharp knife that has a point to it, and I insert it into the hole, and I just dig it and dig it and dig it until I have enough opening that if I turn it upside down, it'll drain out into a cup. This is how much water I got out of it. And you can taste the water. A lot of times you won't get a good coconut. It'll be already fermented. And unless you go to an Asian store, or you know where there's a lot of people buying them, so they're circulating them often. Anyway, you taste the water, and if it tastes like it's not rotten, then you've got a good coconut. It doesn't necessarily need to be sweet for the coconut to be sweet, but a lot of times that's a good indication. If the water is sweet, the coconut's going to be really good. So then after I make the opening and take the water out, I take my hammer and I'll just hammer it against the coconut until it cracks. And once I have it cracked, and then there might be some big pieces that just broke off, I want them to get them smaller to where they're at least this size or smaller, because it's easier to dig them out with when they're smaller. So you want to take a butter knife, because it's really, I've punched myself enough times that I don't use sharp knives anymore to dig them out. But you get between the skin and the coconut, and you pry it in there, and then you pop it out. And now for me to dehydrate it, what I'm doing is I'm taking my food processor that has a blade, and I'm running it through and just shaving it off. Or if you have a mandolin, you could shave off some. And so after I've already done one, so after my food processor is a large one, so I have to have a large container to catch it, and it comes off in shavings like this. And what I like to do after it's completely dehydrated, and in order to dehydrate it, you want to put it in a dehydrator that you can regulate the temperature. So I keep it under 118 degrees so the enzymes are still alive. And this is what my food processor looks like. Somebody donated it to the cause of medical missionary work, and so I'm very thankful to be in possession of it. It's not a cheap one, but I think the cheaper ones, you can still do the same thing. But I'm going to show you how I shred it with this one. So, after I dig it all out, then there may be some pieces of husk that still stayed on here. I want to make sure I get those off so that it doesn't hurt the food processor. I don't take off the brown skin of the coconut. You can if you want, but I don't mind the color in there. It really doesn't give it any different taste. And so it's just one less step that I have to do in order to get this accomplished. So I have my pieces of coconut. I'm going to go ahead and wash them off first. And put my big tub under here. we have 2 coconuts worth of coconut. And this is my dehydrator. I got it from Costco. I actually ordered it online and they shipped it to me. It's $130. I liked it because it's not loud. With it comes these 2 different kinds of racks. You have the large screen, it's stainless steel, and you have the plastic one if you need to put something on here that's, you don't want it to fall through, and since I have a lot of little pieces, I put this on here also. And so we will go ahead and spread one out. Now if you were going to do patties, you can either get the sheets that you can order that are solid, and you can do dehydrated patties, which I'm going to do another video on that. And you would use in these that you can order online, and I'm not sure what they're called, but if you just look for dehydrator sheet liners, you'll find them. And also, if you don't want to just try something else out, you can use parchment paper. And I have another one over in Florida, another dehydrator like this, and I use parchment paper, and I use it over and over and over, and it seems to hold out pretty good. So it's not like you're wasting. So I'm going to put this in here. It's going to take probably a good 20 hours to do it, because I'm going to put the setting I'm going to go ahead and fill them all up, but I wanted to show you the setting that it has. Okay, so you hit the time, and you can add more time. So I'll go all the way up because it's going to be a good 20 hours. And then the temperature, I'm going to go down to 113. I could start at 122 for the first hour or two, because the moisture in the coconut is going to keep it cool. And then after a couple hours, I will turn it down to 113. Okay, so what I do with the coconut is I'll take the coconut, put it in a blender after it's dehydrated, and I'll finely powder it. I'll put some flaxseed. I'll dump that out, and then I'll put flaxseed in the blender and grind that up, and I'll dump that out. Or I might go ahead and grind it up with a little bit of chia and maybe some hemp seeds or walnuts. And then I have a high omega-3 fatty acid sprinkles that I can put on my banana or my fruit salads, but the recipe is also on the website, and it's simplypurehealing.com. Thank you.